This is Sybert signing in to Infinity Isle, or Red Alert 3, whichever one you prefer. And on the left side of the most famous island in Red Alert 3, this, as the Cyan Empire, is Bashley. And on the right side as the Red Soviets, this is GBHMichael. GBHMichael, I have not seen a game from him in a while, although maybe he was in one of the team games, but I don't think I've seen a game for him. GBHMichael sometimes has fun and interesting strategies, but when he doesn't, he has some lovely, lovely speedruns of the campaign. Ooh, all right. Someone a while ago left a comment and they said, why don't Soviet players just build battle bunkers? Part of it is battle bunkers cost $500, and most of the time you don't have an engineer past the opening oil derrick, but you want to spend the $500, this is where GBHMichael decides to spend it on this particular map. Some people were saying that you should put it somewhere near your refineries so that you don't have to deal with Tengus. That being said, looking pretty standard for Bashley, going for some tank busters in the middle of the map. Got himself a couple of extra dojo cores as well. So 3 dojo opening for Bashley. Also, a defender core around the north side of the map. Sometimes people can use this to put some damage on their opponent, but I'm genuinely curious what his plan is for this defender core way up there. If he has a sneaky plan, like if he's going to try and run it over here or what. But it's going to be Super Reactor before the War Factory, after the 2 refineries, and before the expansion. So GBHMichael, rather, not Bashley, does decide to drop a couple of flak troopers. Okay, so it's 2 dojo cores as well. Decides to drop a couple of flak troopers into his refineries with his harvesters. Now, of course, this Terror Drone is going to be going for the easy infect. If he can get the infect on the defender core, this completely shuts down this attack. But of course, now Bashley knows about this nice micro from GBH. He did the perfect stop micro to, of course, delay stop the ability to deploy that core, and then he just needs to micro this guy until the second Terror Drone can come infect one of them. Get this guy! Alright, there we go. Perfect infect by GBHMichael. Takes care of absolutely everything. That attack, whatever it was going to try to be, it was perfectly shut down by GBHMichael. Well, it wasn't perfectly shut down, was it looked like this flak trooper got annihilated by that Jet Tengu. And for now, he will be able to escape. Now, of course, a lot of players do switch their flak troopers over to mines so that they get the mine drop on the Tengu like that, but a little bit faster than that. And there's one Tengu down. Second one doesn't actually go down. The Terror Drone doesn't get the infect. GBHMichael is going to be taking a bit more damage on this ore collector. He also negated the armor, so the hammer tank is going to have to pull over to deal with that Tengu. He did get the Tengu locked inside, so he won't be able to get the kill on the harvester. Bashley doing what he can to get the kill, to get the damage on the refinery, but not on the harvester. There's the transform to escape, and Bashley is non-stop with this harassment. GBH recognizing that, sells off 2 wall segments. He's got a couple of Terror Drones, a Terror Drone and a Bear, rather, in the north, in the south as well. Just keeping eyes on Bashley, not going to let him do anything sneaky. Once again, Tengu's circling above for Bashley, but he's unable to get any further damage done. The transition is going to be into the Mecha Bay and a 3rd refinery onto the high ground for Bashley. No Tier 2 on the Mecha Bay. Ooh, that infect of that dojo core is annoying with these repair drones here. It is, of course, possible to save it, but would have been even better if he could have gotten the refinery core like 5 seconds later when it was a little bit further away from that Mecha Bay. But another Crusher Crane actually going to be going down, so he's going to be getting the free repairs on at least one of his harvesters. GBHMichael dropping down the 3rd refinery as well, so he's got the Crusher Crane, again the battle bunker on the front line, holding off the infantry of our Empire player. So Bashley is unable to break down the front door. He's been unable to sneak in the northern entrance, and he has been unable to successfully harass GBHMichael. Now, don't get me wrong, there has been some damage done through lost mining and killing a couple of okay, so GBHMichael also apparently accidentally produced an extra harvester? I'm assuming he accidentally hit the F button with that refinery selected, and he's going to sacrifice that harvester to get a little bit of cash back. Okay, so yeah, actually that harassment was much more successful than it had any right to be. Hammer tank dropping in? That was weird. As, did he really drive a hammer tank over there? It looked like the remain of treads sitting there, but Crusher Crane here, going to be getting the airfield as well. GBHMichael moving his MCV out onto the water, so he's going to be taking that 4th refinery. What is that Bullfrog doing? The Bullfrog's also just way out in front. He got turned around and sent back home. A couple of Chopper VXs in the south. 3rd refinery, or 4th refinery rather, going up for Bashley out on the water, gets spotted by the dogs. And a Terror Drone is going to be going for the Infect. Bullfrogs do indeed see the Chopper VXs, and the Chopper VXs, I think, will see this Terror Drone. Yeah, they do see the Terror Drone. They are not fast enough to actually try and nab it. And most of the time, if you don't, like, force fire ahead or something, Terror Drones will be able to escape the missiles from Chopper VXs. They're instead going to be going for the Oil Derrick, while the Tengus are going to be circling around the Hammer Tank. They're looking for the kill on the Bullfrog. They will transform to escape the Bullfrog, not in a position to punish that. And the Naval Yard is already here, so the Terror Drone is completely negated anyways at this water expansion. He is going to try and lock down the Harvester, which is the one way you can try and get value out of that Terror Drone. Conscript, it looked like, got lobbed into the base of Bashley, and Tengus are going to be sent out to deal with that Terror Drone. In the north, it's just a bear heading along that side of the map, not anything to worry about. And again, a bear running through the base of Bashley. GBHMichael there, just keeping an eye on Bashley every chance that he gets. I guess this Harvester could maybe be, like, pulled back, and you could send the full health Harvester in for some mining while the half-health Harvester gets repairs or something. I don't know what GBH's goal with that extra Harvester is. 4th refinery and a Tesla coil up and running. He's got that running defense for him, which, you know, it can be dealt with a couple of Chopper VXs, but it does take time and gives you time to get those Bullfrogs out there. Nice damage output on these Tengus. Going to be able to deal with that Collector. And now GBHMichael does not even need to rebuild his Collector because he rebuilt it super early in the game. And now he can deal with it that way. 3 Tengus going down and a Striker, it looks like, as well. So a ton of losses for Bashley, considering he only got the 1 Harvester for GBHMichael. And now the MiGs are going to be able to hunt down this Striker as well. So that is lights out for that harassment. 1 MiG may go down, but trading out even more Tengus, 2, and not quite 3, almost losing 3 more Tengus. That was not a good engagement for Bashley. I guess he did end up getting 1 MiG, but considering all he had to trade out to get it, that was not a good series of engagements for Bashley. 5th refinery going down for GBHMichael, and no such thing for Bashley. He does, of course, have that Tier 3 of the mainframe. No Tier 3 on the Mecha Bay just yet. It's more Tengus, more Tengus. No Tier 3 here either, so not even going for, I don't know, Rocket Angels. He could, of course, go for Eureka, but I don't know that he has that kind of free cash to be going for a Eureka. A 2nd airfield coming out for GBHMichael, so that's a funny case of something that he is deciding to build there. And I guess he's really worried about having enough MiGs. Shogun battleships, that's where the Tier 3 is. It's going to be used to break GBHMichael from the waters. And a Kula sub is already here for the response. And of course, a Terror Drone locking down this Shogun battleship is also always a possibility. The Bear narrowly avoiding any real damage from that Shogun battleship, as the tank busters are going to be able to deal with these hammer tanks maybe eventually, but for now the conscripts are also here to put out a bit of damage. Tank busters not able to stop the hammer tanks from dealing with the dojo, and what is this Shogun battleship doing? He is navigating into, I guess, the furthest possible point inland to hit the refinery on the high ground. I'm not sure why he's not going for the easier target, but the Bullfrog will end up taking a little bit of damage. Full surround nearly on this hammer tank, so it will definitely go down. Bashley switching attacking targets a little bit too much there, instead of just finishing one of them off and then going to the other one. And the Shogun battleship does go down. Very nicely done for GBHMichael, but he did trade out a refinery for it. I don't know if that was worth it for Bashley. Maybe he wanted to go for the harder-to-kill refinery so that he would have an easier time harassing this one, and then you kind of get 2 refineries. Whereas if you go for the easy one first, you give your opponent more time to react. But of course, Shogun battleships don't do super well against Akula subs when there are many of them. Although if you get an easy kill on one of them like that, and then you have time to produce something else to deal with the other Akula sub, then you can, well, look at that. It's a cruiser. It is a cruising battleship-like structure vehicle for the Empire Navy. Satellite's going to be getting called down on that Tier 3 Imperial docks. I don't know that it'll actually get the kill. It does get it very low on HP, and perhaps an Akula sub could get the kill on it in a moment or two. Couple of tsunami tanks also here to try and deal with that. Tengu's dealing with the MiGs in the sky and then transforming to deal with the Bullfrog, so I don't know that GBHMichael ever lived up to his dream of getting a full 8 MiGs into the sky, because if he did, that would have had to have been an insane number of Tengus to take those guys down. It looks like in the south, most of the water battles have kind of abated for the current moment. Point defense drones, they're good. They are not so good that they keep Bashley's Tengus alive, as only 2 of them managed to escape. Big losses for Bashley in the skies, and GBHMichael, he's producing MiGs 2 at a time. He's filling up his airfield with MiGs. And, well, he's also killing a couple of tsunami tanks in the south. Naginata's here to deal with these Akula subs, and the Akula subs did use their special ability trying to clear out those tsunami tanks, and now one Akula sub dies for basically nothing. A second one is going to go down or hit very close to going down before it ends up going down. It gets eliminated there very nicely by Bashley's Naginata cruisers. I'll just say it both ways so that everyone can be upset. Twin Blade's going to be helping to deal with one of these cruisers, but of course MiGs are here to keep the Twin Blade safe and to keep the Tengus away. As 5 Tengus do show up, they're going to do what they can to deal with the Twin Blades, and they're going to have to transform as the refinery goes down, and this naval yard will most likely be next. Bullfrogs, do they actually manage to escape? The Twin Blades narrowly able to keep them alive, but the last Akula sub does die. The naval yard has been dealt with, so GBHMichael has been forced off of the seas, and Bashley is getting what value he can out of these Naginata's cruisers, as these ore collectors will end up going down just barely, though. But again, not a whole lot of value was remaining in that ore collector. Bashley is now going to have to try and defend his Imperial docks. He's got 1 Sea Wing, but this is not quite enough. Needs to target down the weakest Twin Blades first. Let's see how good of a job he does. And, well, it doesn't even matter, as this is just too many Twin Blades for 1 Sea Wing. Oh my gosh, if he gets this Tier 3 naval yard, that will be huge, but the Tengus show up at the last possible second. He gets the naval yard, and the Tengus don't manage to get the kill on all of the MiGs, but they will get the kill on a bunch of these Twin Blades. 2, 3, 4, and 5 do go down. An absolute massacre in the skies, giving away heroic veterancy to 3 of 4 of those Tengus, but the naval yard does fall. The artillery has been shut down, and it looks like on the land, GBHMichael has been beaten back. Oh man, this refinery is not long for this world. 2 Twin Blades are here, Bullfrogs on the high ground, but these Tengus can deal with 2 Twin Blades, even if it's somewhat sacrificial to take some damage from the Bullfrogs and to take some damage from the MiGs. They may even be able to just deal with the MiGs straight up. No, they do have to turn around. This is a fully heroic Shogun battleship, which can put a lot of hurt on that refinery for GBHMichael. Tank busters holding the front line. This dojo nearly dead, but still alive. There's the terror drone going for the infect. And Bashley is aware of it. Can he actually manage to escape? Dealing with it with a Tengu or with a Sea Wing would be the best thing. Okay, he gets the kill. That was a little bit close, but he does manage to get the kill. Bashley with a huge advantage, having the only artillery on the map. As, yeah, no Tier 3. So no V4s. So it's not completely over, but GBHMichael has, he's going to have to pull something out of his hat. He's down on economy. He's going to be getting picked apart. So he's going to go for a desperate run with Twin Blades. Yeah, kill a Harvester. That is as much as you can ask for. GBHMichael getting value for his Harvester there, getting the cash back through the Crusher Crane. It's a hard knock life, man. It's a hard knock life. Heroic Shogun battleship. He's going for the kill on the super reactor. Good move there by Bashley. I'm not sure what GBHMichael can realistically do in the current moment. He loses another refinery. Just go for the kill. Oh, these Tengus are not in position. Okay. So that was some good damage by the Twin Blades. If they come in for another volley, it won't be enough to kill it, I don't think. But a third volley after that may be enough to finally finish off this Shogun Battleship. Where are the Tengus? Priority number 1 is keeping this Shogun Battleship alive, which currently is killing walls. Bashley giving away a fully heroic Shogun Battleship for not very good reasons. Tengu's now performing a flyover of the base. They're doing something. That kind of fell apart in the last couple of moments there. GBHMichael has carved out some space for himself. He's now got definitely a fighting chance. He's going to reestablish his now 3rd refinery in his main base for the 11,000 credits that still remain for it. Ooh, even the Wave Force artillery gets sniped. Bashley is unable to stand on his own anti-air legs. He's just dying to Twin Blades one after the other. He's going to now go on the offensive. He's going to be able to get one Harvester kill very easily there. The Terror Drone also went down before the sound even played. Bullfrogs are here, but what are they going to do against a bunch of tank busters? They really can't do very much. The MiGs did all go down. I don't think GBHMichael, well, confirmed, he does not have the cash to sport more. Oh, he killed the barracks there. He doesn't have the cash to actually produce those MiGs, so he's going to have to deal with just the Bullfrogs transforming everything. I don't know if that was the best move for Bashley. He could have possibly just transformed 2 or 3 to get the kills on the Twin Blades, or at least chase them away, and then chase away the Bullfrogs with everything else still on the ground. Bashley could be getting a little bit desperate here. He does have Wave Force artillery. Now he's going to be able to pummel GBHMichael, but he has to keep them alive. He can break this bunker easily. Well, never mind. GBHMichael sells it off when he sees this force amassing on the front line. Desolator Airstrike going to be called in, or maybe it's Satellites, but I assume it would be Desolator Airstrike. He maybe got just the Tier 1 of it. Yeah, just as a deterrent. Not a bad move at all. Using that as a deterrent is a great way to buy some more time. One heroic Sea Wing. Zouth would be very proud, but one heroic Sea Wing going for the harass, and well, apparently Sea Wings do pretty good damage versus an unprotected ore collector. One more refinery does go down again. Good deny by Bashley. GBHMichael, I don't know that he actually could have done anything to stop that. He's got 2 Twin Blades. Maybe he could have put the hurt on, but toxins are expiring. That's the thing about buying time, is you're just buying some time, not all time. And Bashley, well, I don't know if he has this one sewn up just yet, but he's getting very close. If he plays out the next couple of minutes very well, if he loses all of his Tengus, then it might not be the same game. MCV going for the crushes, but it's ultimately getting chased down by the Twin Blades. And not by the Twin Blades, but rather by the tank busters. Once again, the Wave Force artillery, it gets one shot off, but it's not enough to really even things up. The Bullfrogs are now on the wrong side of the engagement, which means nothing is going to stop this MCV from just getting slaughtered as even the Bears go down. Bashley, after a long mid-game, has finally pulled this one together. GBHMichael has been defeated, and Bashley claims the victory there. Nicely done. Almost gave it away, but was able to retain it. And that lead provided him by just like getting out that first Shogun Battleship. Ultimately, he never let that slip, but he came very, very close to GBHMichael grabbing that lead back from him. And my gosh, neck and neck in the economy game for almost the whole time. GBHMichael slipping narrowly ahead, I think, with that fast 5th refinery, which ultimately was punished, but it did provide him a little bit of headroom. And then ultimately Bashley able to bring things together, so nicely played by Bashley. GBHMichael with a strong showing as well. And GG to both of these guys. Thank you all very much for watching, and this is Sybert signing out.